I've reached my 60s in a healthy, fit body, taking no medications, no supplements. And in this video, I'm going to break down the 3 key things that I've done to make this happen, because I believe that we can all be healthy at any age. What is age anyway? The first key to a healthy life is to get daily exercise. Now, I know that that is not mind-blowing information, but how many of you are exercising for at least an hour every day? Half an hour? 15 minutes? Growing up as a kid in Los Angeles, I didn't live in the best neighborhood. So in high school, I decided to play on the tennis team. I had no idea how to play tennis, but the thought of having a racket with me for protection sounded like a really good idea. I learned how to play, and I started spending most of my time and playing at the local courts. Playing tennis taught me a couple of things. I liked being in good physical condition, and I enjoyed individual sports. I eventually started to play for hours every day and even competed in the Southern California tournaments. In 1 year, by the time I was 16, I was number 100 in Southern California. I also learned that I was very competitive. I only played tennis in college for 2 years, though, but that story's coming up in a minute. I ended up graduating college with a major in corporate fitness. I loved being fit, and I wanted to help others get fit too. I managed fitness centers for a number of years here on the Central Coast of California. My healthy lifestyle continued as I became a mom and a 3rd grade teacher. Being a healthy example for my boys and the children in my care was very important to me, and I taught them everything I could. When I turned 40, I gave myself an amazing gift. Now, some people may call it a midlife crisis, but I gave myself 1 year to learn how to surf. It's not something that you can just go out and do one time. So I thought that 1 year was a realistic goal. By the end of that first year, I was okay, I was proficient, but it wasn't enough. I was on a passion-filled journey to get as good as I could get. I was in love with surfing. Now, at age 63, I surf, stretch, do yoga, hike, work out with weights, and go for walks at least 1 hour every day. If I'm traveling and I can't work out, then I extend my workout to the next day. This is the discipline, the will, the perseverance that I draw upon to keep myself healthy. You see, I want to be able to do fun things with my kids and my grandkids and be active for as long as I can. And being fit and healthy allows me to be able to travel and go wherever I want to. Last year, I traveled to Costa Rica by myself and had an epic surf experience. I believe that our bodies are made to move. There are so many things that you can do. Won't you start doing something today that you've always wanted to do? You can try hot yoga, Pilates, swimming, snorkeling, rock climbing, paddleboarding, whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it. Keep exploring and searching until you find your thing. That thing that you can do every day for the rest of your life. It's never too late to make exercise a priority. You won't regret it. And if you're not sure how to get started, then start with a 5 to 10 minute walk. The healthy benefits of exercise have helped me to stay away from doctors and pills. And if I did it, so can you. The second key to living a healthy life is to eat well. Now, again, I know that's not shocking information. However, how healthy are you eating? Are you eating mostly food that comes from the ground or food that comes from a factory? Now, my favorite food as a kid were donuts. My dad was a police officer, and he was always bringing home these amazing buttermilk donuts. Now, even though it's been decades since I've had them, I can still taste them. But now the taste is oily and artificial. I didn't know better back then. I thought food was food. I didn't realize that some food doesn't nourish your body and can actually do damage. Until that is as a teenager, I read a couple of books. Thank goodness I love to read. The first book I read was Upton Sinclair's The Jungle. I don't think that I ate meat for 7 years after reading that book. Have you read it? The other book was William Duffy's Sugar Blues. That book changed my life and made me realize that eating donuts wasn't good for me or my health. They might taste good, but they aren't good for you. And I tried my best to eliminate sugar from my diet until I went to college and gained the freshman 20. Even though I was active and playing tennis, I was eating anything I wanted to because I wasn't living at home. I was living in the dorms and eating with a bunch of other kids. It's a long story, but I ended up going to a different college my second year. I was still playing on the tennis team, but my coach thought that I should lose some weight. I was only 19, and she had no idea what was going on in my personal life. But she demanded that I lose weight if I wanted to stay on the team. I was going to show her. I was going to show her that I could do it, and I began to starve myself by eating only salads, and I got to the point where I was eating about 300 calories a day. That's the equivalent of about 3 apples a day. I lost weight and strength, and I lost myself. I don't remember much about the end of that school year. I became anorexic. My anorexia progressed, and I didn't go back to school the following semester. I couldn't hold down a job. I couldn't even think right. My parents wanted me to go into the hospital and threatened to put me there, but I refused. I was an adult. After a heart-to-heart discussion one day with my brother, I realized that I was killing myself. I understood about the body, and I knew the science. I understood calories in and calories out, and I made the decision that day to live and to get my life back on track. It wasn't easy, but I attended college the following semester. See, I knew the science, and I'd been working out since I was 15 years old. I knew on an intellectual level what I was doing to my body, and I wanted to change. I kept learning and graduated in corporate fitness. Since then, I've been able to maintain a fairly healthy eating habits, and I've made it a priority in my life, and you can too. Just like with the exercise, it's never too late to start. The first question to ask yourself is, how much am I eating? And what am I eating? I find that most people who would like to become healthier and maybe even lose weight have no idea how many calories they're consuming in a day. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of calculations here if you're interested to find out how many calories you need to eat to maintain your current body weight. Multiply your body weight by the number 15. So if you weigh 125 pounds, then you need about 1,875 calories to maintain your body weight. If you're gaining weight, you're probably eating too much. Now, how many of you would like to lose some weight? You need to know then, you need to find out how many less calories you need to eat or how many calories you need to burn off in order to meet your weight loss goal. For example, let's say you want to lose 10 pounds. There are 3,500 calories in 1 pound. So if you want to lose 10 pounds, you must burn off 35,000 calories or eat 35,000 calories less. If you're going to burn off 35,000 calories, how much do you need to exercise? Let's say you're going to walk. A 1-hour brisk walk will burn approximately 300 calories. So if you need to lose 10 pounds, that's equal to about 117 hours of walking or about 3 months. Remember, it's never too late to get started, but the sooner you get started, the better. Are you afraid to get started because you've always failed in the past? Perhaps you've never been able to stick with it before. all we ever have is the present, right now. It doesn't matter what's happened in your past. The only thing that matters is your intention, your determination, and your expectation in this moment. One of my favorite quotes by Marie Curie, she writes, "Nothing in life is to be feared. It is to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less." So what is it that you need to understand more so that you can fear less? What do you need to learn about healthy eating and exercise in order to move your life forward? Only you can answer that question. The third key to being healthy has to do with understanding how powerful our bodies are and understanding the mind, body, and spirit connection. My learning about healing and our ability to heal has all come about from my spiritual journey, which started in 2018. I started meditating, journaling, and becoming aware of my thoughts and feelings. Second, I learned that if we don't let go of resentment and guilt and worry and stress, that those emotions can harm us, ultimately leading to dis-ease in the body. Third, I learned that everything is energy, including our cells, and our cells contain all of the wisdom necessary to heal themselves. Fourth, we must be able to feel healthy even when there may be some physical issues. One of my favorite quotes by Wallace D. Wattles is, "It requires power to think health when surrounded by the appearances of disease, or to think riches when in the midst of the appearances of poverty. But when you acquire this power, you become a mastermind. You can conquer fate. You can have what you want." Fifth, it's about understanding that you are in control of your health, and you must learn to own your power. Sixth, it's about the ability to believe in your healing and to know and love and accept yourself unconditionally, putting yourself in the driver's seat to your good health. And by the way, in the next video, I'm going to go into great detail and explain how you can use each one of those 7 steps to manifesting to help you fast start your way to a healthy lifestyle. Now, in addition to meditation and tapping into and establishing a relationship with my higher self or soul for guidance and information, I studied and trained to become an energy healer practitioner. Now, the more that I do my energy healing for others, I find that I get healed too. Before I started doing this work, I used to be a regular at my chiropractor's office. Because I work out often, I would go to the chiropractor at least once or twice a month, if not more. But when I started doing the energy work, a year went by and I realized I haven't been to the chiropractor's office. I didn't miss it, and I totally forgot that I hadn't even been going. I felt great. Part of the energy work that I do is to find out if someone needs a vitamin or a supplement or something added to their diet. And then I find out if it needs to be given to them vibrationally or physically. If it's vibrationally, then I ask an angel of light to deliver it. So with the understanding that our bodies are a complete pharmacy and our bodies can manufacture anything, I do my energy work. Another aspect of my work is hypnotherapy. If something is going wrong with our physical bodies, we can definitely check in with the subconscious and ask, what's going on? I recently helped a gentleman who had been to his internist and to his regular doctor, asking them for help because he kept waking up at 3 a.m, but they couldn't do anything for him. So he came to see me. My response was, perhaps your subconscious mind has a message for you. Perhaps you should listen. And I suggested that he get curious about what was going on instead of assuming that something was wrong. I guided him through hypnosis, and he discovered that he was waking up because he was concerned and worried about these projects that were weeks out. And then his subconscious reminded him that he's always prepared. He doesn't need to worry. And it made complete sense to him. He was absolutely thrilled that it was such an obvious and easy solution. He just had to let go. Our bodies are truly amazing. And by communicating with both our soul and our subconscious mind, so much healing takes place. I'll never forget the session that I had with Deb. She was going to be interviewing me on her podcast. And as I often do, I offered her a session so that she would know firsthand what it was like to work with me. Now, I had a session with her on a Friday, and it turns out she had a really bad rash on her leg. It was a result of some medication that she was taking, and it was completely driving her nuts. So I did the energy session to relieve the rash and the itch. On Monday, she interviewed me on the podcast. She never mentioned her leg, so finally I asked her about it, and she had forgotten all about it. It apparently went right away. It went away right after our session, and it was out of sight and out of mind. The many lessons that I've learned from listening to my body, getting curious, and being open to learning new things has brought me here to being in my 60s, taking no medication, no supplements, and having no doctors. Now, I'm not advocating that for anyone else, and I'm not saying that you should fire your doctors like I did, but I am saying that it is possible. In a couple of months, I'll be celebrating my 64th birthday in Costa Rica, surfing every day in warm water. I plan on surfing for at least another 20 years or more. What's age anyway? So if you're curious about energy healing or want to talk about your health journey, you can schedule a free consultation with me through the link in the video description. You can also visit my website at thriveflourishgrow.com. I'd love to see you in the next video, and please do me a big favor and subscribe. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.